Well, the next project has arrived. John Deere 350g with a royally smoked stick end, so we're gonna have lots of work to do now. Getting unloaded. Well, they got her all unloaded. It's been sitting here an hour and a half or so. I'm just now getting ready to dig into it. I was in the middle of putting fuel return line fittings on my truck when they dropped it off, but anyways, she's definitely a little bit whooped on. I don't know if you can see it in here or not, but she's got like a 2-finger gap going in there. The bushings have been gone for a very long time. So, we got some fun to have here. I'm getting ready to run home and go see if I can talk Wiggles into come giving me a hand. It's a lot easier getting bushings out if you can tap on it and have somebody play with you know, find the loose spot in it. I've monkeyed around with it here a little, and I'm just not finding it by myself. So we're going to go collect Wiggles, see if I can get him to come out here and run the controls for me while I beat and pound and get stuff apart. So that's what we're up to. Alright. Just set it over there, kind of to the... right up by the bushes, yep.
So do I do this?
Yep. Alright. Looking good. You always got to watch the tail, the counterweight, make sure you don't hit anything, but you got lots of room, I can see it. Alright, I'd let her down closer to the ground and then reach right out there so we can set it there. Alright, reach her right out there. Okay, swing a little to the left some more. Okay. A little more, we're going to put her right up by the bushes. Okay, now stretch her out some more. Alright, you're maxed out, I think. Tell you what, crawl ahead with it a little bit.
So these?
Yep. A little more, we want to get her up close to the trailer. Alright, now I'm going to go up there and I'm going to watch and have you set it down and stop when we've got the slack out of it, okay? Alright, bring her down, Wiggles! This is where it is so much handier having an extra set of hands. Oh! Back up a little bit. Oh, right there. Oh, back down tiny bits. All right. I'm going to get hooked up to pull on it. And then I might have to have you wiggle it up and down like you were doing with the other pin. That one you were just running. Yep. So I'd just go ahead and put the safety on so it doesn't move right now, and I'll go get set up and pull on it with the forklift. Yep. Yep. Alright, Wiggles and I have traded places now. Boy, now I'm baffled. I see all kinds of daylight around there. You probably can't see it on camera, but I don't see anywhere that it's tight. I mean, we're rattling loose in this end. I got all kinds of slop there. You know what? I say that. I think what we've got is right here is the trouble, where the pin is going through this ear because the middle of the pin isn't worn. Darn. Alright, I got Wiggles in there. He's going to go up and down with it a bit. Hopefully we can see what is going on here. Oh, yeah. See that? The whole bushing. This is one of them stupid kind with a bushing in it, I think. And it's... yeah. Alright. Alright. Blasted through there. So, what I'm going to do now is probably take hammer, knock the slag off the edges. I might even have to grind around the perimeter just to make sure that I don't have a burr kicked up there. And then we're going to try beating it back the other direction and see what we can do.
Hi everybody, so today what we're doing right now is we're grinding the slag off so it'll fit in the hole, because the pin has not been willing to come out. And I've been controlling the excavator because I'm being on the track right now, you can see. And my dad's over there grinding. We're pulling on the pin with the forklift. We just got done torching that. And the part that we torched, they're in that bucket there. Might be able to see them.
Alright, Wiggles. I think I'm probably going to have you pick the bucket up, or pick the stick up for me, little Wiggles.
Okay. So should I pause this?
Alright, we got her. That's good, you can shut her off there. So, it was different than I thought. I was thinking this was like some of the cat buckets I've fought with where they've got a bushing in here, but no. This one is a side spacer that's bolted in. And what had happened is that side spacer had got all coined out and fitted itself to a worn, smaller spot in the shaft, so when we got to the unworn section in the middle, it wouldn't go through it. So, anyways, torching the end off worked, and we were able to beat her out of there, but what a fight. I got more exercise on that than I care for. Morning, everybody. We're back on this John Deere 350g. Got Wiggles at the controls. He was helping me running the stick up and down for me while I set the blocks under. So got a couple bars set up. So the end of this one's blown out pretty bad. So what I did, set up my 1¼ bar. I've got some nice lineup cones that I made. Those bushings are about brand new that are in the top holes, and the seals fell out anyways. So normally I would use like bar spacer to go inside the bushing, but those ones are so nice that you can get a good accurate alignment with just cones like I am. So then I took a measurement between the keyway in this bar and the end of that one, and it is really dumb close. So now this is where a digital level is just a must-have. So I've got it synced to my phone. I don't know if you guys can see this on here. Let me get in the shade. So anyways, it's synced to my phone and it's telling me where I'm at right now. So I have leveled it on that top bar, zeroed it out, and that's where this level is just so awesome with the digital. So it's zeroed out on this top bar right now, and then I moved it down to the bottom bar and it showed me how far off I am. Now, we're so close that what we're going to do is go ahead and put my bearing mounts on, because I just wanted to see how close I was with these lineup cones. And honestly, I am thrilled. Even as much wear as it's got, we're ending up really close to the original bore center line. And thankfully, this bore hadn't migrated a bunch off center to where I need to worry about that. It just got hammered out pretty evenly. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get set up on this thing with the bearing mounts, and then we'll carry on with alignment and getting set up to weld and bore it. Alright, so I just got done squaring everything up. For those of you that aren't familiar with the BB5000 Climax, these are a spherical bearing setup. So what you've got here is that bearing mount bolts on with these 4 5/16 fine thread. And then you've got these set screws every 90 degrees that push on this thing. So you loosen these up, just run them back up snug. And then you can like back the set screw on that side off, crank the one on this side over. So what I was doing was going back and forth between adjusting it. You know, I had my digital level zeroed on that bar, and I was going back and forth between getting my level zeroed and then taking a measurement. What I do is I spin around until I got a nice sharp keyway, hook there, and you can get really dumb close just with a good tape measure. And the other thing to remember is that I normally put a longer bar in the top, but I didn't have 2 sets of lineup cones for this. I guess I could have switched over the other bar, but anyways, that bar there is twice as long as the width of the stick. So let's say that my measurement error between here and here is, I'm going to say, splitting lines. I got good eyesight. I'm going to get within 10 thousandths. Well, now you're basically having your error over the actual width of the bearings. We're within 5 thousandths, and I can assure you there's nothing on the end of one of these sticks that's that accurate to start with. So anyways, so what I'm doing is measuring side to side with my tape measure, getting the 2 bars parallel, and then back and forth with the digital level. And so you make one adjustment and it screws up the other one, and back and forth, and you're always shrinking the numbers until what I've got down to now is no discernible error in the tape measure, and I am something less than 0.01 degrees out of square to that other bar with the digital level. So we're good to go. I will pull that top bar now and set up to go at it with the boring machine. First pass through, we're cutting about 60 on a side, oversized right now. Mostly cutting up here on the top side where it isn't worn as much. Alright, so we cut it 2 passes oversized. It didn't quite clean up. You can see in here we got crescent on the bottom and one on the top. But I decided it was close enough cleaning up that we'd go to welding. Anyway, I'm trying something I haven't done before, and I've got this thing hooked up to my Miller-Matic 250X here. As long as we're set up at the shop. So far, so good. I had a little trouble with it arcing back to the tip, and I was about to give up, and then all of a sudden it decided to behave itself and work. So I don't know if that was a freak deal or something characteristic-wise about this machine that just don't lend itself well to bore welding. But at any rate, it's getting the job done. Well, we're on our second pass. I don't know if you can see in here, I got a kind of a gnarly spot in my weld in there. That's because I ran out of wire. Should have swapped the roll, but I was like, I think we got enough, and we didn't have. So anyways, I'm hoping that this pass will be enough. Yeah, you can probably see it. You can see that line in there. That's probably not going to clean up when I'm boring. I'll probably have to go in and hand weld that, but my bad. I can fix that hand welding. So anyway, assuming the diameter looks good, hopefully I'm going to be ready to switch over to running this. But I finally got my feeds and speeds and everything dialed in, and seems to be doing the job. So far, this hasn't tripped out and overheated. That was one of my questions. It's like this says it's rated at 200 amps at 60% duty cycle. And my experience is running the bore welder, you're somewhere in the 160-ish amps range. And I wasn't sure if, you know, this is definitely 100%. I wasn't sure if we were going to be getting into this welder too hard and have the thermal overload kick out. But so far, she's hung with us. Well, guys, I think this is as far as we're going to go. This had a lot of little, just your normal hiccups and snags. And wind, you can see here, we got some porosity showing up. It's pretty common. I don't really understand it. It doesn't tend to do it anywhere but coming out right at the edge. You can have all kinds of wind and you'll be fine, but it wants to go porous out near the edge. I guess you're just losing your shielding. And for some reason, it always wants to do it on the downhill side. I'm not really sure what's going on. So I've got a spot in here and then on around down the bottom where, about the last 2 or 3 passes, I got porosity showing up. So a lot of times I've discovered that the porosity will actually only up here near the surface. And if you're cutting away most of your weld, that actually you'll discover it's good solid metal down below that. But anyways, either way, I've put 2 passes in, which actually should be a fair amount of overweld, so I'm hoping it'll clean up. If it doesn't, I'll go in there and cut it out and hand weld up that bit. But anyway, so this thing is cooking hot, so I've accomplished what I wanted to. I've got 2 heavy passes. I say heavy, 2 probably 100 thousandths thick passes all the way through both sides. And now we're going to tear this all down and just leave the bearing mounts on here over the weekend. And then Monday I will go back at it and hopefully bore this out, do a little touch up, and wrap her up Monday. Alright, we're on our second roughing pass in here right now. Going pretty good, and it's looking like, give or take, I mean, if I have a void or something, but otherwise looks like we're going to clean up. I'm pretty happy with how she's going. Well, we are on our final roughing pass. I did throw a couple of beads of weld at the outside edge. I was afraid it wasn't going to clean up when I squared the shoulder up. Anyways, it's, yeah, looking real good, actually. I'm very happy with it. Well, we are done with the boring. I had one weird thing happen. You see the, spirally looking line in there. Picked up a chip or something on the return stroke and scored it around in there. Happens every once in a while. Irritates me. It ain't fatal flaw, but it bugs me. But anyway, we are 1/1000 under. So my target dimension, converted the metric over, was 4.2 or 527. I'm at 4.526. I'm stopping there. I always try to err on the side of tighter rather than looser. So thousandths one way or the other is not going to make or break you. And an extra thou on this thing just means she's that much snugger and she ain't going to rattle out of there. So anyways, we're going to pull this tool, put a facing tool on there, face her off, and then get this project switched around to cutting on the other side. Decided to rain on this parade. So we're on what's our final roughing cut in here. just had a cloud burst. It's so stinking hot out here that I don't actually mind getting rained on, but just enough to get it good and wet around here. Anyway, you see I'm just about to my stop right now. Go back route, take some measurements, and go for the next one. What you doing, Cupie? You getting dirty? Ah, yeah. That's all greasy stomping through there.
Nice, okay.
Just thought you might want to know that. Perfect. You boogling Daddy's tools, Cupie? Those are no-nos, yeah. Very smart little boy. What are you doing, Boogly baby? Is that grease? You got grease on your shirt. Yeah, you checking out the work trailer?
Why?
Yeah. Need help down? Alright. Alright, everybody. It's been a very long, hot day. It was 94 degrees, I think, here today, so I realize you guys down in Texas are going to tell me what a wimp I am, but I'll bet it ain't whatever the heck it was, 85% humidity when it's 95 down there. And even if it is, we ain't used to it up here. But anyways, stick end is bored, bushings are pressed in, seals are smacked in there. The only questions that remain to be answered on this, I got to talk to the mechanic that was working on tomorrow. Is this John Deere bucket had a bolt-on side spacer, and that thing's just trashed. And I got to find out if they want to get another one of those, or if we're just welding a piece of plate in there as a side spacer. And the bucket's got some abuse. It probably ought to be welded and bored, but I don't think they're too excited about spending the money on it right now. And I can't insist that they do it. It's a little sloppy, but it's not going to make anything any worse. Like, this is the thing that was really ugly. That, if they do it now or do it later, there's not some terrible penalty for them running that thing another season or two. It's got about, depending on where you measure it, right around 15 thousandths of slop on the pin. So, I mean, it's a little clunky, but that ain't terrible. The biggest issue is that the side faces are just gnawed to bits on that thing from it chucking around and knuckling around. I'm honestly surprised these faces aren't way worse. I did not redo these faces. It's weird. The bucket must have been a lot softer than this was or something. So there's not that crazy much side. Well, there's a fair amount, but nothing nuts. So we're leaving this alone. I think what's just going to happen, it's going to get shimmed to get put together, and then the next time it needs going through, it'll probably get the bucket done. But at any rate, so I just got to find out from them what they want to do. The side seals up here fell out when I took the pin out, so needs a couple new seals there, and then this has some synthetic side spacers, and those were just gone. Once again, from it torquing and twisting on something, it just squeegeed them right out of there, so we got to get some new ones. But otherwise, we'll put the bucket back on this thing probably tomorrow and tell them to come get it. So that's it. I'll bring you guys back on the next video, but that's the end of the 380G for this one.